As both sets of players take the knee, showing solidarity in the fight against racism. It'll be Brighton to get us underway, as Lee Jia-min, on the blow of Christiana Hattersley's whistle, gets the game underway. Brighton kicking from left to right, as we see on the picture. Chelsea, of course, the other way. As the ball ricochets off Hannah Blundell, and out of play for a Brighton throw. It's all about staying in the game for as long as possible. Brighton, Chelsea have been free-flowing, and at late as well. 4-0 wins over Tottenham and Aston Villa recently, a 6-0 win over West Ham in midweek. They're finding the back of the net regularly and dispatching teams left, right and centre. Chance there for Brighton to get on the front foot in the early stages. The cross went Fleming. New signing Emma Koivisto on the throw for Brighton, signed from Swedish side Göteborg this week. There's no stranger to facing English sides either, though. She faced Manchester City across 2 legs in December in the Champions League, and City winning 5-1 on aggregate. As the snow comes down in West London, Melanie Leupolz across to Ingle. No Millie Bright this afternoon for Chelsea. Looks as though Sophie Ingle was slotted into centre half as her replacement. Williams wins the header for Brighton, picked up by Leupolz. Jessie Fleming into Wrighton, unable to bring it under her spell. Brighton can try and come forward themselves, as Lee Jia-min tried to turn. Eventually picked up by Ingle, and Chelsea can build once more. Brighton pressing hard though, they've won it back again. A decent idea that from Emily Simpkins, trying to spot the run on the left-hand side from Cagman. Lee Jia-min trying to hold the ball up, but Chelsea win it back again. Anderson across to her Swedish teammate Eriksson. Anderson was the target, well cut out, and Lee Jia-min would try and make something happen here, but couldn't quite bring it down, and Whelan put Eriksson under pressure. This is Hannah Blundell. Only her 4th league appearance of the season, Blundell. Her 3rd start in the league campaign, Blundell, but Chelsea are yet to concede when she has started in the league this season. Eriksson into Wrighton. Ingle trying to thread it through for Kerr, but just evaded her.
Keep Sam high. We've got to keep, the pitch is too short.
Megan Walsh with the ball in her gloves, back in the side this afternoon after Cecily Fiskerstrand has started each of Brighton's last 5 in the Women's Super League. The clearance, though, charged down by Beth England on that occasion. Opportunity for Chelsea early on. England squares it for Kerr, and it's really well saved by Walsh, who made amends for her error. Williams also supporting. It may have even come off the defender last. Either way, though, Brighton just about able to clear. Out for a Chelsea corner. Walsh took too much time. England was in a hurry and squared it for Kerr, and unlucky not to get an assist there, Beth England, after hassling and harrying the Brighton goalkeeper. Cuthbert on the corner. Kerr up for the header, and it's in off the crossbar. Sam Kerr for Chelsea, and it didn't take them long. Less than 5 minutes in, they take the lead. It's her 10th in the Women's Super League this season. Meeting Erin Cuthbert's corner with a firm header. Chelsea 1, Brighton 0.
Ezra! On the money! On the money!
Well, it's the best possible start for Chelsea. Brighton will be disappointed to concede from a set piece. In particular, Hope Powell at the bottom of your screen will not be happy with her side at all. It just looked a little bit too easy for Sam Kerr, who rose above everybody else, and once he made contact, it was only going one place. Sophie Ingle into Sam Kerr, whose goal separates the sides. Tried to win it back off of Brighton's Megan Connolly. Cagman down the line, and this will be chased by Aileen Whelan. Ingle gets there first.
Guru, like that one, it should be Ez on that, not Sam.
Ball came off Blundell last, Brighton corner. Can they use this as a way to build a decent response to going behind Brighton? They conceded from a corner, can they score from one?
Hackman's free. Jesse, come on, Jesse.
And it goes from the left towards the front post. Eriksson was there. Brighton wants another corner, and it looks as though they've got one.
No, we haven't. We've got Jesse here. It's fine. I've just seen what they've got.
Koivisto just hanging on the edge of the area for Brighton. Elia Brazil came short. In goes the corner. Decent looking cross and an equaliser for Brighton. Aileen Whelan's header. And what a response that is from Hope Powell's side. Having conceded from a corner, they've now scored from one. And they're back on terms inside 8 minutes at Kingsmeadow. Aileen Whelan's second league goal of the season, having scored in a 2-2 draw at Everton in October on her 50th Women's Super League appearance for Brighton. What a moment for her. And Chelsea back to square one. It's 1-1. What a start to this game. And Brighton showing that there are going to be no pushovers this afternoon, having conceded 10 in their last 2 league games. Here come Chelsea though. Kerr's ball into the area. England, and hacked away by Whelan. What an intense contest this is. Kerr gives it away. Now Lee Jung-min trying to hold it up for Brighton. It's very difficult for her up there this afternoon on her own. And what's very defensively set up Brighton formation. A block of 5 and a block of 4 in front of Megan Walsh. In goes the cross from Blundell. England's header over the bar. Well, it seems to be the best route to goal so far for both teams. Kerr's header and then Aileen Whelan's to equalise. Given away that time by Williams. Brighton into Leopolds. Cuthbert turns, and once more. On to Fleming it goes. Brighton, Chelsea in a hurry. Guro Wrighton's effort and held by Megan Walsh. Forward by Whelan. Lee Jamin can turn here for Brighton. Good feet and brought down by Leupolz. But the decent looking cross and flicked on by Aileen Whelan. Brought down by Williams, who kept it away from England. Heavy touch from Koivisto, but manages to just about keep it alive and win her side a free kick, much to the disapproval of the Chelsea players. But Brighton very much matching the league leaders here in the early stages. Another decent looking cross, headed away by Kerr that time. Brighton trying to help out by finding Blundell, who's got a better angle to clear. Straight out of play though. And Chelsea, who had kept 3 clean sheets in a row in all competitions, under the cosh here. In goes the next cross, that time held by Telford. And it's Eriksson who can try and take it forward, but Brazil in close contention. This is England. And Chelsea quickly get it out to Kerr. Now Anderson. Kerr once more. Heavy touch, but kept it in play. Nice little run there from Fleming and found by the ball down the line. And Walsh prevents the corner. Went Leupolz to win the header. Cuthbert takes over. A little bit loose that time from Magdalena Eriksson, kept in play by Blundell, but Chelsea just showing some signs they're not their full-flowing selves at the moment. That's a better ball though from Eriksson. Jonah Anderson can get forward. It's a low ball into Kerr, straight down the throat of Walsh. Kerr, who's in very good form in the league. Blundell, not too many options for her, has to go back to Eriksson. Cuthbert dropping very deep, telling Eriksson to get forward. Crossfield ball from the Swede and kept in play by Blundell. England back to Fleming. Brighton win it back again. Chelsea just a little bit loose with their passing in the early stages here. Ali Brazil closed down but wins her side of throw. Brazil in her third season at Brighton, and good to see her playing regularly again, having missed over a year with a horrible ACL injury. Ericsson for Chelsea, into Cuthbert, swept wide to Anderson. Slicker passing this from the home side. This is Guro Wrighton. Ingle delivers. That header not troubling Megan Walsh. Really invigorating contest this has been so far. Brazil will chase this, but well won by Ericsson. Nice little cushion header onto Anderson. They're looking for that crossfield ball out to the left-hand side almost every time, Chelsea. Brighton pick it up on this occasion. This is Koivisto able to get forward. Committing the foul that time, Koivisto, and I don't think Ingle was too happy that she wouldn't walk away from the free kick very quickly. Referee Christiana Hattersley just calming things down. Well, Emma Koivisto's had quite the introduction to life in the Barclays FA Women's Super League. Early goals and a mild tussle with Ingle. This is Leupolz. Ericsson over to Ingle. Lost out that time, Sophie Ingle with her pass. Brighton quickly able to get it forward and get numbers forward as well. Yellow shirts flooding into the centre. Koivisto pulls it back, but Meneli Leupolz was well placed for Chelsea. As Kerr tries to turn, one back by Kirkdyke. Chelsea wants a free kick. But Brighton really up for the challenge this afternoon. Lee Jia-min. Koivisto almost adamant that she should have won the throw. Bit of space for Leupolz. Ericsson under pressure. Just about found Wrighton, did well actually, Ericsson. Cuthbert returns it to Wrighton. Better this from Chelsea. Wrighton pulls it back. There's a ricochet inside the area and England's effort goes off the bar. Took a deflection, it's a corner. There was a bit of a scramble, there was a handball shout as well. England was alert. And a little bit unlucky not to score. Cuthbert on the corner for Chelsea. They scored from their last one with Sam Kerr. That's another decent ball. Walsh just about does enough. As do Brighton to get it away. There was a foul in there too.
The problem is you're always in line with Yona. And it's the same with Jessie and Hannah. And the centre-backs only have one option.
Emma Hayes' voice in the background, organising her side. Anderson once more an option for Chelsea. Cuts it back for Cuthbert. Just showed too much of it there to Simpkins, who finds Lee Jung-min, who's one-on-one with Ingle here. Eriksson catching up. And Lee Jung-min, on her own, has done ever so well to help Brighton get up the pitch. Simpkins offside for Brighton. Well, I said it was going to be a difficult afternoon for Lee Jung-min, but she's making pretty light work of it. Up there on her own for Brighton. Loney from Manchester City. Scored just once in 3 league appearances for Man City last season, having signed before last campaign. All substitute appearances as well last season, but getting more regular game time with Brighton, and well, you can see why, deservedly so. Eriksson looking for Anderson again, excellent control. Tried to loft it on to Sam Kerr. Kirkdyke able to get it clear. Picked up here by Fleming. Blundell tried to knock it round Cagman, who read that one, and it's Fleming who comes back to make the challenge. Now England for Chelsea. Cagman closed down. England takes on the shot, and it's comfortable for Walsh. Walsh featuring in the Women's Super League for the first time since December. Loose clearance. Ingle into Fleming. Eriksson. Cuthbert able to turn, but quickly under pressure. Brighton win it back again. Brazil on to Lee. That time, though, Lee unable to keep it for Brighton. Cuthbert turns into trouble. Brighton winning it back again. Maya Letizia under pressure from Anderson. Hooked forward by Leupolz, flipped on by Cuthbert. Kirkdyke reacting. And Walsh preventing the corner.
You can be more positive.
Well, when Chelsea have pressed high, Brighton have struggled, but they probably haven't done that enough in the opening stages here. The home side. Leupolz into Kerr. Anderson swept it back to Eriksson. There's a lot of energy about this Brighton team. Ball hit the referee, Christiana Hattersley, and as is the new law of the game, it's possession back to Brighton, as they were in possession at the time. Kirkdyke back to Walsh. Leupolz. Anderson to Brighton, tried to scoop it into Kerr. Wins outside a corner.
Corner. Well done. You didn't see the deflection. I think if you... And the other thing is look at her position. Just because you're in a better position, that's all we're seeing. Come on, pal. We're here to help.
Well, they've looked pretty threatening from corners so far, Chelsea. Scored from their very first, then it goes from Brighton. Flicked on by Eriksson. Fleming on the turn. Up went England, as did Williams. Claimed by Walsh, who's quick to get Brighton forward again with Victoria Williams. Aileen Whelan. Koivisto to take it forward, but ran into trouble against Leupolz. As Telford plays on to Eriksson. Chelsea giving it away again. They win it back though through Cuthbert. Leupolz over to Blundell. Somehow it's found its way to Anderson. Opportunity for Chelsea. It's flashed all the way across the face of goal. Walsh hasn't got it and had to be helped out by Simpkins, who puts it behind for a corner. It was a dangerous ball in from Jorna Anderson. Chelsea will be wondering how they didn't score from that. Another chance from a set piece. Up went Eriksson. Came off the back of her head though, picked up by Kerr. As Blundell sends it wide again to Cuthbert. Eriksson leading the appeals for a handball for Chelsea. It's a corner though. Cagman wasn't entirely sure where the ball was there, but picked up by Cuthbert. Sent in by Blundell, really deep cross, too deep for Kerr. And Brighton will take that all day long. Visto gave it away for Brighton. Trying to win it back though, and really strong play, but gave it away once more. And desperate to try and win it back again. Emma Koivisto. As Eriksson looks wide for England. Williams staying strong. England gives it away to Cagman. Well, Chelsea have given the ball away quite a lot, but you have to say Brighton's energy in this game has been absolutely terrific. They haven't had as much football as Chelsea recently. That could be one of the reasons for that, but even so, you need to be hard-working against sides like this, and Brighton have been so far. I hope Powell will be really pleased with not only their work off the ball, but how they responded as well to Chelsea's opener, scored by Kerr. They equalised just 2 minutes later through Aileen Whelan. Good ball that from Blundell. England returns it to the defender. Anderson on to Brighton. Now Eriksson. Little 1-2 between Kerr and Anderson. Chelsea very patient. Brighton looking solid. As Ingle goes crossfield for Anderson, it may have hit her hand. Eventually the decision goes Brighton's way.
I know her positioning is not right.
It's all very scrappy, isn't it, at times, this game? With how quickly both sides are trying to get around the opposition when in possession. That's how Brighton will want it. Sophie Ingle for Chelsea. Now Leopolds. Now the Norwegian Guro Reiten gave it away for Chelsea. Lee Jun-min unable to bring it under her spell. One back by Leopolds. Fleming. Now Ingle as Chelsea work it from left to right, then back across again. Trying to can Brighton as far back as possible before eventually trying to find a way through. There's not much space though, is there? Brighton looking very organised. This is Jorna Anderson. Trying to take around the outside of Leticia. Ali Brazil there to clear the danger.
Stay there, Ez! Don't, that's better! Keep the shape in the midfield!
Well, in the end, disappointing ball through from Magdalena Eriksson. One back by Fleming. England onto Cuthbert, now Reiten. Try to thread it through for Kerr. The second attempt, though, over the bar from Guro Reiten. Yet to score in the Super League this season, the Norwegian. All three of her goals have come in the Conti Cup.
Drop in then. Yeah. Just in that space there. In around the second ball, Melly. In around the second, Jessie. First, second.
Kerr helping the ball on to England. Williams wins it back for Brighton. Leticia forward. Lee will give chase. Well, it's the best attack in the league against the worst defence in the league, but so far you wouldn't have thought that would be the case. Chelsea lacking a cutting edge at the moment, while Brighton look very defensively resolute. Here they come again, though, the Blues. Hannah Blundell. Behind everyone, in comes Anderson. Deary me. Well, if there was an effort to sum up Chelsea's first half, that would probably be it from Anderson. Hasn't scored in the Women's Super League since May 2018. Since signing a few months before that, she was on a scoring spree for Chelsea. 4 goals towards the back end of the 17-18 campaign, but without a goal since in the Super League. Here she is, Jorna Anderson, winning it off of Ellie Brazil. Blundell forward, helped on by Cuthbert. England will chase this. And forces the corner off of Williams. Did ever so well, England. Brighton will hope to hold out until half-time. In goes the corner from Cuthbert, headed downwards by Ingle and saved by Megan Walsh. Kerr unable to keep it alive as Brighton clear. Good stop from the goalkeeper. Melanie Leupolz, great feet and manages to find England. In came Cuthbert. Now Anderson. Kerr in support. Anderson once more. Eriksson across to Ingle, then back to Eriksson again. No gaps at all, are there? So well organised, Hope Pal's side this afternoon. Chelsea need to try and find a way to break that down. They've certainly got some firepower on the bench, likes of Fran Kirby and Pernilla Harder. Forward from Leupolz, unable to find Kerr. Kirby and Harder, who between them have 19 goals in all competitions this season. If things carry on the way they are, in terms of Chelsea lacking a cutting edge in the final third, no doubt Emma Hayes will turn to her bench. Aileen Whelan's down for Brighton. It's her goal for Brighton, which levelled the scoring soon after going behind. Managed 5 in the Women's Super League last season. Emma Hayes taking the time to have a mid-half team talk, or towards the latter end of the half anyway. Doesn't want to wait till half-time. Well, you can clearly tell that Emma Hayes has been rather unimpressed with her side's display so far. Can those words of encouragement ensure Chelsea edged themselves in front before half-time, because the longer it goes on level, the more confident Brighton will get that they can see this out and take a very useful point away from Kingsmeadow against a Chelsea side who, as I said earlier, have won each of the last 18 home games in all competitions. Looked like a handball there against Brazil, but Chelsea continue anyway. Good news for Brighton is that Aileen Whelan is on her feet and looking mobile as Kirkdyke gets round to clear. Chelsea still very much in a rush in possession, aren't they, to try and get it forward and conjure an opportunity. Brighton quickly to get round at them at every given opportunity. Cuthbert there, closed down by Cagman. Leupolz once again picking up possession deep for Chelsea to try and get things going for the home side. The German midfielder. Well, balls over the top haven't really worked for Chelsea. Playing through Brighton hasn't really worked for Chelsea, and you wonder how they might approach the second half. Lots of pondering for Emma Hayes to do. It's a good win from Leupolz. Kerr will try and get on the end of it, but that's a really well-timed tackle from Maya Letizia. Started every Women's Super League game for Brighton this season, just 18 years of age. That was a perfectly timed challenge. Engel on to Fleming, now Leupolz again. Eriksson into Anderson, crossing opportunity. And there'll be another one from this corner, which Brighton will take. Brighton delivers, up went Eriksson, headed away, England looking to help it wide. Ball forced out of play off of Brighton, really good pressure that from Megan Connolly. One down for Chelsea. Another chance for Anderson to deliver. It's bounced all its way through to Kerr. There'll certainly be kind words from Hope Powell to her side at the break, especially given the difference in this performance compared to the last couple of weeks. Currently holding the league leaders, who are trying to get themselves forward here. Leopold's looking for England. Ma Letizia sees it back to Walsh.
Don't get drawn under it first.
Fleming trying to bring it down as Ingles sends it forward. Now Anderson. Got about 30 seconds or so left of the first half. Maybe one last chance for Chelsea to try and retake the lead. Williams, though, across to intercept. Koivisto back to the centre half, who sends it forward for Brighton and Hove Albion. And Ingles forced to go all the way back to Carly Telford. Well, it's been all Chelsea, as you would have expected, but rather unsurprisingly, the score is level going into half-time. They got off to a good start, the home side. Sam Kerr heading home after just 5 minutes, but the response from Hope Powell's side was equally as impressive and imminent as Aileen Whelan headed home to equalise for the away side. And Chelsea, who have huffed and puffed and conjured opportunities since then. England hit the bar. Kerr has had a couple of chances inside the 18-yard area. They haven't quite done enough to edge themselves back in front, but it's been a much more encouraging first half from Brighton than they've shown in their previous games. At half-time at Kings Meadow, it's Chelsea 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1.
I'm Caroline Weir and you're watching the FA Player. I'm Caroline Weir and you're watching the FA Player. I'm Caroline Weir and you're watching the FA Player.
Once in a lifetime goal.
I'm Tash Hardin and this is me.
When the ball is at her feet, there is only one outcome.
Manchester City looking to build something in the early exchange of this one. In behind seems is Kelly, and Kelly with a dangerous ball across, and that's the opening goal. It's Lauren Hemp sliding in at the far post.
Walsh, Greenwood. This could be the goal of the game, the way they've worked the ball here is Kelly. Well, we've seen some brilliant finishes in this match so far. It's the goal that she deserves.
Oh, Fran Kirby could be in here. It's a lapse at the back from United. Kirby! It's the woman in form. It's Fran Kirby for Chelsea.
G again. Leopold's with space. Leopold's with a shot. And it's gone all the way in. What an effort that is from Melanie Leopolds.
Here's Galton. Galton's cross, and it's stopped by McKeever, who just got another touch and another chance, and it's in this time. No mistake by Ella too.
I'm Magda Eriksson, and this is me. I first got into football when I was 5 or 6 years old. It was my dad and a couple of his friends who started a team in the neighborhood where I lived. Yeah, I just remember there's actually one story where he wanted to sub me off, but I didn't want to get subbed off, so he had to run onto the pitch and carry me off the pitch. I first knew that I wanted to become a footballer when I think I was around 10 or 11 years old, and the Swedish women's national team were in America and they won a silver medal in the World Cup. And I remember seeing them when they came home, and yeah, I just wanted to be like them. I would say I'm very different. I'm a different person on and off the pitch. Many people say that as well. On the pitch I'm very intense. I can get quite angry and really competitive. Off the pitch I am just a calm person who likes to listen to music and studies and just relaxes a lot. But on the pitch I'm definitely outspoken and competitive. I say the most important morals and values for me, especially as a footballer, is to always be humble and hardworking. I don't think I would have got anywhere without those two values actually, and those are the most important to me. And then it's also just being an open person, an accepted person. Biggest achievement so far, I think for my country it's definitely the World Cup bronze that we won this summer. The whole tournament was an amazing experience for us, and the support we got from Sweden as well has been massive. And for club-wise, it's definitely winning the double for Chelsea. My first year here, winning the FA Cup was an amazing experience and a day that I will never forget. One of my biggest goals of my football career is definitely to win the Champions League, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things you can win in a career, and I think that's what we all strive for here at Chelsea. That's our main goal, and I hope that we can do it in the near future. My advice for a young girl or boy for that matter is to always actually just enjoy yourself. I think that's what got me so far, is my love for football, and to hang around with your teammates and have fun, but then also to work hard and to stay humble. Yeah, I definitely recommend to play abroad for any Swedish player or any player actually. You challenge yourself. It's a massive challenge, and I think it keeps you on your toes. And the league here in England especially is just getting better every year, and it's a very competitive league, and a different style of football I think is always good to experience, and I think it develops you a lot as a player.
Carla Humphrey in central midfield, and then Ollie Pike making her debut on loan from Everton as Daniels has a goal! Oh, what a goal from Jana Daniels! What a brilliant goal! That is a great way to start. Full forward for Salmon. Salmon has got there ahead of Letizia. Ebony Salmon for 2-0! She just doesn't miss! She wasn't going to miss. Is that a handball from Williams? Penalty given. Salmon scores. What else did you expect?
G again. Leopold's with space. Leopold's with a shot. And it's gone all the way in. What an effort that is from Melanie Leopolds. Aurora Mickelson was rooted to the spot. And they've given it away here because Kirby picks it up. Harder is in the middle. Kerr's made a run to the far post. Here's Harder, and that's deflected off McManus, and it's in. And Chelsea have scored 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes.
Oh, I highlighted Abby McManus at the start of this, not because I thought something like that was going to happen. She'll be really disappointed with that.
Flag stays down. Harder in behind has Kerr and Kirby queuing up towards Sam Kerr, and that's 3. First real chance for Beth England. England pulls it back, claims a handball, the whistle goes, that is a penalty. Leopold steps up and makes it 4-0, sends the keeper the wrong way, and that's game, set and match now for Chelsea.
Kelly. Cross towards the near post. Weir bundles through and trickles over the line. Well, Weir was first to react to where that ball was going. She read it so well, and she was never going to miss. And City take an early lead. White to Kelly from the position where she set up the first. Finds Bronze, fizzes it in. Hemp tries to get on the end of it and scramble it home, and it's into the back of the net eventually from Georgia Stanway. Well, the pressure just told in the end. City have piled it on. Greenwood towards the middle of the goal and flicked across into the far corner by Ellen White. A deft header from Ellen White makes it Manchester City 3, West Ham 0. Oh, and Pacheco has fallen to the turf, and Lavelle steams through and just knocks it beyond Arnold. So unlucky, Maz Pacheco. No mercy shown from the USA World Cup winner Rose Lavelle, who knocks it into the back of the net for Man City 4, West Ham 0.
It's Galton. Galton's cross, and it's spilled by McKeever, who just got another touch and another chance, and it's in this time. No mistake by Ella Toon after it had been pushed out by McKeever. And Manchester United in front here inside the first 10 minutes. Ella Toon in the right place at the right time. Galton, Toon's arriving in the box. That's who she looked for. Turner was there, Press was there, Smith getting up in support. Cleared by Finnegan. Everton really stretched there. Manchester United didn't make the most of it. Ladd playing it through for Press. Can she finish it? Yes, she can. Kristen Press doubles Manchester United's lead. A good finish from the USA international.
I'm Katie Zellum, and this is me. I first got into football when I was 6 years old. I signed for a boys' team, so it was just me and then all my mates. The team was called Failsworth Dynamos, and that's one of my earliest memories, to be honest. The biggest influence on my career was my dad. He used to come out on the field when it rain or shine, kicking the ball 40 foot in the air, shouting at me to control it. And I think that's made me the player I am today. If it wasn't for him, then I don't know if I'd have got this far, but I'm so proud that he's my dad. From an early age, I knew football was what I wanted to do. I was always surrounded by football. That was such a normal thing in my household and in my family. I didn't know it was possible to play professionally, but as soon as I realised that was possible, then that was my ambition. At no point in my childhood did I think I would be Man United captain. When I was little, I used to live in a Manchester United kit, so now to walk the girls out with the armband on is incredible. walking out at the Etihad with 31,000 people. Would I ever expected that, and to be walking out captain, not a chance. And I had all my friends and family texting me how proud they were, and I think that was a really special moment for me. Playing for Manchester United and supporting Manchester United is incredible. I think if you asked any footballer if they could play for the team that they support, then it would be a dream. I think I've got where I am now through hard work and determination. I've took a lot of turns in the road, and maybe things could have worked out differently in different situations, but that's the same in any walk of life. I've always knew what I wanted, and I've put everything into being at this moment, so now I want to hold on to it and really make the most of it. At Manchester United, I want to be here for a long time. This feels like home to me, and I want to push the club to places it's never been before. We want to win the league, we want to win the Champions League. We've got really high standards. And for me individually, of course, an international call-up is my aim. Like any footballer, they want to represent the country at the highest level, and hopefully I can keep pushing myself and my performances will speak for themselves.
I'm Jordan Nobbs, and you're watching the FA Player.
To Kings Meadow, Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. The visitors out early for their pre-second half warm-up. Chelsea also out of the tunnel as well, having had, well, quite the talk with manager Emma Hayes, I would have thought. She wasn't too pleased with her side's first half performance. That was evident when there was an injury to Aileen Whelan, who stayed on the pitch, but Emma Hayes called her side over to the near touchline to tactically change things up and explain what was going wrong for Chelsea, who took the lead early on through Sam Kerr after 5 minutes, her 10th in the Women's Super League this season. But it was a very quick response from Brighton and Hove Albion. Aileen Whelan on her 50th Women's Super League appearance for Brighton, with the equalising goal from a corner. Header from close range, well taken. It's a big next 45 for Chelsea, who have the record of winning the last 18 home games in all competitions to preserve. And it's a massive opportunity as well for Chelsea to extend their lead at the top of the Women's Super League, because Manchester United lost 2-0 to Reading earlier today. At the moment they're 1 point clear. They could go 3 points clear with a game in hand. It's a real opportunity. Whether these players know that United lost earlier or not, they'll still accept nothing other than 3 points this afternoon against a Brighton side who lost 7-1 against Manchester City 2 weeks ago, 3-0 against Bristol City last weekend. But what a reaction this has been so far from them. I'm sure Hope Powell's message at half-time would have been more of the same from her side. Defensively, very organised. And at times, it dwindled as the half went on, but certainly in the first 10-15 minutes, looked a little bit threatening going forward too. They sat back after that and soaked up the Chelsea pressure. They've got another 45 minutes to do that though, Brighton. And no doubt Chelsea will turn to reinforcements if they are still coming up short in the final third.
Find some tempo, good.
The earlier call from Emma Hayes for her side to find tempo, and they really do need to as well. It was a little bit pedestrian at times in the first half, and when they did try and play with a bit more intensity, a lot of the passing was forced and they gave it away. Walsh sends it forward for Brighton. It's won back by Brighton. Now England. England's ball in and behind for a goal kick, unable to keep the ball in play. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of the same in the second half as to what we saw in the first. Chelsea dominating possession, dominating territory. But Brighton, if they stay as defensively resolute as they did in the first half, could make it a very frustrating afternoon for Chelsea indeed, as they have done so far. England wins it back off of Maya Letizia, who tried to break forward. This is Magdalena Eriksson. Ingle wide to Blundell. Sophie Ingle again. Chelsea lose out. Not really too much support for Lee Jung-min, but managed to keep possession as it's helped back to Walsh. Anderson for Chelsea, into Kerr, just dropped a little bit deeper to try and pick up possession for the home side. Brighton. Kerr stays on the left channel. Ball might break for Fleming here, left for Leupolz. Brighton looks wide. Kerr does well to get to the ball first, and her effort saved by Walsh. Just got there ahead of Kirkdyke. Walsh stayed low to make the save. Snow still coming down at Kingsmeadow. There's a real blustery, nippy wind as well. Extremely cold day in London this afternoon and across the country. No doubt there will have been a cold half-time team talk as well from Emma Hayes to her side. Eriksson clips it onto Anderson, onto Kerr. That was a well-weighted ball onto the Australian. Kerr just about keeps it in play and wins her side a corner. Almost got away from her, but managed to knock it off of Kirkdyke. Former Bristol City defender, staying strong. Well, they scored early in the first half from a corner. Can they repeat the trick early in the second half? Decent cross from Cuthbert. It breaks here for Ingle. Quickly closed down. Still a chance for Chelsea. Brighton, though, wild with her effort towards goal. Kirkdyke sends it wide to Koivisto. Lost out. This is Fleming sending it back to Ingle. Fleming again. Into Cuthbert it goes, who turns smartly. Leopold's under pressure. Cuthbert keeps possession well. And wins a free kick off of Emily Simpkins. Just kicks the ball away. Christiana Hattersley, the referee, acknowledging that from Simpkins, but she escapes a yellow card. Brighton and Cuthbert in conversation. Cuthbert delivers. It's a deep ball in, headed away as far as Ingle. Shifts it wide to Kurt. Headed away as far as Cuthbert on the volley, controlled by Williams, and they're making a meal of this, Brighton. It might have hit a hand in the penalty area. Chelsea certainly feel as though that was the case. Christiana Hattersley ignores the protests from the home side. Well, certainly Victoria Williams was taking a real risk in controlling that inside the penalty area, and what was a congested penalty area too. Just about got away with it, the visitors. Leopold's Chelsea's deepest player then. Well, Brighton staying very well organised at the start of this second half. Melanie Leupolz for Chelsea. Now Gira Wrighton. Too high for England, too long for Blundell. It's just the accuracy of the passing and the detail to every ball that's played forward has been really lacking in this game from Chelsea. Blundell into Leupolz, back to the defender again. Space for Magdalena Eriksson to take it forward. That's a really good ball from Ingle, over to Anderson. Ingle tried to find Cuthbert, just about got there, the Scottish international, on the stretch. Further evidence of Chelsea's lapses in concentration in possession. And again from Melanie Leupolz. Brighton will try and come forward. This is Inessa Cagman, trapped by Blundell. Cagman has to stop. Unable to find the underlapping run from Emma Koivisto, who thought she was fouled off the ball. And I wonder whether there was an opportunity for Chelsea there to exploit the space that was left down Brighton's left as Koivisto got forward, but again it's pretty passive in possession from Chelsea this. Good turn from England, but despite Brighton winning it back, they've given away a free kick. Leupolz looking to take it quickly, but on the referee's command we'll wait. This will be right, and it's very straight. She has to try and force an angle, helped on by Eriksson, but Easy enough for Walsh. Very difficult possession that for Brighton. Almost dead centre. Well, looks as though we're going to see a first change of the afternoon. So Guerra Wrighton replaced. And it's Ji So-yeon coming on. Bit more creativity from midfield, you would have thought, with the introduction of the South Korean.
And also coming off the field, 17, Jesse Fleming, replaced by number 14, Frank Kirby.
More firepower too, with Frank Kirby on the pitch. And she replaces Jessie Fleming.
And also coming off the field, 9, Beth England, replaced by number 23, Vanilla Harder.
Well, it's a triple change. Harder also on for Bethany England. We'll talk about signalling intentions. Emma Hayes opting for the triple substitution. Kirby, G, Harder, all introduced. More than 20 goals between the three of them this season in all competitions. As Kirby finds G. Back to Kirby again. Sam Kerr, Harder in the centre. Kirby trying to pick up the loose ball following a deflection. And Cagman does well to get there and clear the danger, but all of a sudden the energy levels have risen quite considerably from Chelsea following that change. Well, those changes, I should say. Ji So-yeon into Kerr. G again. G finds Anderson. Plenty of blue shirts in the middle to try and pick out, but it's well dug out by Brighton. Picked up by Eriksson. Now G. Ingle takes it forward for Chelsea. Not too many runners ahead of her. There was a late run from Leupolz, but Ingle unable to find the German midfielder. Here she is, Leupolz, looking for Kirby. Eriksson to G. Cuthbert. Now Leupolz. Picked up by Harder following the interception from Brazil. Pernilla Harder again. Brazil got back and does well to prevent the corner. Well, almost an hour gone now. Still in the same position as we were towards the end of the first half. Chelsea, a lot of possession. Deep inside Brighton's half, but they haven't really created a lot in the way of clear-cut chances in the second 45 so far. Ingle over to Anderson, now G. Cuthbert looking to try and drive away from Lee. Leopold turns in midfield for Chelsea. Cuthbert, who's playing a lot deeper than where she was in the first half, certainly since the triple change from Emma Hayes. This is Ji So-yeon into Kirby. Leopold's hanging around 25 yards out, thinks about a shot. Well, she scored a stunning goal last week against Tottenham. She scored twice last week, in fact. That's not one of her best efforts, though.
Substitution for Brighton, coming off the field, number 19, Ellie Simpkins, and she'll be replaced by number 32, Libby Vance.
Well, Libby Vance coming on for only her third Women's Super League appearance of the season for Brighton. Simpkins, the player replaced. A nudge in the back from Ingle, not enough though for it to be a free kick. Eriksson takes it forward, surveying the situation, but goes short to G. Powell at the bottom of your picture just then, still organising her side. As Libby Vance wins it back for Brighton. Gets it away from Harder, runs into trouble though. As Harder finds Jorna Anderson. Cuthbert, good feet, really good feet, but got past two, but unable to take it past the third. Megan Connolly in her way as Brighton give it away. And Ingle looked forward early for, well, Pernilla Harder, I think, but picked up by Leticia. Free kick to Brighton. Leticia left it for Danny Kirkdijk, the Dutch defender. Set forward by the 24-year-old. Good touch that from Aileen Whelan. Looking for the run of Brazil. Round goes Anderson and puts it out of play. Rare chance for Brighton to get some yellow shirts forward.
Shoulders!
Looks like it's going to be sent long into the area here. Flicked on by Williams. Leopold's trying to prevent the corner, unable to do so. Brighton set piece. Wiley Whelan went up, nearly picked up by Libby Bantz.
Give us a bit more width.
Easy enough for Chelsea in the end, who can play their way forward again. Ingle on to Blundell. Decent looking ball, but really well cut out by Koivisto, who's having quite the debut for Brighton. Cuthbert, little ball into Kerr, now wide, looking for Blundell, tracked by Koivisto. Cute ball into Kerr. No one in the centre though, and it's Letizia who can bring it away for Brighton. There wasn't anyone to pick out. Chelsea will come forward again. Kirby picked out on the left. It's a corner to Chelsea. Played quickly by Kirby into G. Headed away, and I think she might have been caught in the back there by a stray foot. As one of the Chelsea players tried to catch it on the volley. Just to the right of your picture there as the camera panned away. It's Megan Connolly, I think, who's down.
Substitution for Chelsea. Coming up with number 3, Hannah Blundell. And she's been replaced by number 18, Mara Mielder.
Well, Mara Mielder, the next player to be introduced by Emma Hayes. Coming on for Hannah Blundell. Another player coming off the bench with goals in the Women's Super League this season. Scored in wins over Manchester City and Bristol City earlier this campaign. And going straight over to some of the attacking players and giving them some instructions, which I would assume would be from the coach, Emma Hayes. Brighton also taking the opportunity to have a team talk on the edge of their own penalty area. Looks as though Megan Connolly will be okay to continue. Though she'll have to leave the pitch, surely, I think, because she's received treatment. So play will get back underway with Chelsea in possession, as they have been for large chunks of this game. Connolly called back onto the pitch and in the thick of it instantly against Mara Mielder.
Ref, you can't have a player come on and win the ball. I know, but you didn't come on until the ball's on the way.
Leupolz into Kerr, unable to get the ball out of her feet, and Libby Bantz was there to win it back for Brighton. There's Koivisto for the away side. Rides the challenge from Leupolz, and it's picked up again here by Eli Brazil. Koivisto in support. Heavy touch though from the Finland international, and she looks absolutely shattered as Chelsea come forward with Sam Kerr. Into Harder. Kirkdijk intercepts. Kerr picks up the loose ball. Heavy touch from her that time too though, and it's Connolly who wins it back for Brighton. Cagman turns. Returns it to Connolly again. Pressured by Cuthbert. Puts it through the legs of the Scottish midfielder. As Brighton try and come forward again with an Essa Cagman. Lee turned into trouble. Harder won it back. Lee injured. Clutching her left foot. As G drives forward for Chelsea. Kerr to her left. Kerr's cross off of Leticia and out of play for a corner. Well, Brighton showing that they're not scared to commit players forward when they do have the chance to break into Chelsea's half. Into the final 20 minutes now, and well, for Chelsea the time's going to be going really, really quickly. During this final quarter of the game. Cuthbert on the corner. Headed away by Bats and set back for Anderson. Her shot blocked, and it's hacked clear by Aileen Whelan. Mara Mielder with plenty of time to turn on the ball and play across to Ingle. As Chelsea find their shape again. Ji So-yeon. Arms outstretched there as she carried it forward. Asking the question of her teammates, where are my options? Harder into Kerr. Unable to find Mara Mielder. Eriksson, good idea to switch it out to the left. This is Ji So-yeon, away from one. Into Cuthbert, Harder in support, nearly broke for Kerr, but it's swept clear by Koivisto as far as Eriksson. Now Fran Kirby. Ingle on to Mielder, now Pernilla Harder. Given away by Leupolz.
Play, Pete.
Kirby. G dropping again to pick up possession for Chelsea. Trying to thread it through a very compact Bristol City block of players. Making things as difficult as possible for Chelsea in possession. Well, I think that sums up the way Chelsea have been in possession over the course of this game. Can Brighton capitalise? Koivisto trying to get there ahead of Telford, who was quickly off her line and needed to be as well. Chelsea have been so far off it this afternoon. Here's Penilla Harder, across to G. Chance to try and get some blue shirts forward again as Anderson plays up the line to Kirby. G, clever ball. Finding Anderson into the centre. Harder's flick off the post and kept out by Walsh.
Let's go, Chelsea, come on!
Well, it's probably their best move of the game, Chelsea. Harder unable to find the finishing touch, inches away from doing so. But that will give the home side a little bit more confidence going into the final 15 minutes. Coming moments after a real poor giveaway in possession, under no pressure at all. As Eriksson loses out to Aileen Whelan. Whelan helps it on, lead back into the penalty area. Libby Bantz turns and Koivisto will chase this. Mjolnir on her shoulder, Koivisto able to turn. Kagman under pressure from Leupolz. Little ball into Koivisto, chance here for Brighton as Lee pulls the trigger. It's a corner, it was well closed down. And a well-worked Brighton move. So it looks as though Chelsea are making a change. Brighton might be making one as well. They are, and well, unfortunately for Lee Jermin, who almost scored for Brighton, is now going to be replaced. It's Rihanna Jarrett who comes on for Brighton. Scored the only goal in Brighton's last WSL win, 1-0 win at West Ham in November. In goes the delivery, and it's gone all the way in! Carly Telford couldn't keep it out. And Brighton lead with 12.5 minutes left to play. Skipper Victoria Williams reminding her players that they can't celebrate too excitedly and huddle together. And it's a really disappointing way for Chelsea to concede. And well, their 33 Women's Super League games unbeaten record could well be coming to an end. In bizarre fashion, it must be said.
Let's go, Chelsea! Come on! It's higher! Higher! 15!
Well, what a story this is at Kings Meadow. Unless Chelsea can try and step it up a few gears and get themselves back in this game.
Follow it.
Brighton could well be snatching a valuable 3 points away from Kings Meadow.
Keep stepping in, so.
G around the corner, just about kept in play by Anderson. As Kerr finds the Swede again, G.
Squeeze in, so.
Penilla Harder, surrounded by yellow shirts over on that far side. Sophie Ingle into Cuthbert.
Keep going.
Ingle's delivery, knocked down towards Harder. Walsh happy to see it behind.
I don't think I can do anything else now.
Well, it was Megan Connolly's corner for Brighton, which has them ahead. The substitute, Rihanna Jarrett, was putting Telford under pressure. That's all she needed to do. And you have to say credit to Hope Powell for making that change. She was adamant she wanted to make the change before the corner. And well, it paid dividends.
Keep stepping in, so. Keep them going.
G through to Anderson. Tried to cut it back. Bance was well placed. As Eriksson helps it on to G.
Wider. Heads in the pocket if Marin goes wide.
Ingle on to Cuthbert.
Keep moving the ball.
Leupolz. Over to Eriksson. Lifts it into the area. Mjolnir keeps it in play.
Yes, come on.
Headed away as far as Anderson, unable to bring it under control. Brighton clear as far as Eriksson. Well, it's backs to the wall stuff this from Brighton as G comes forward. Valuable 3 points in their grasp. Chelsea trying to snatch it away from them again. Still a 1-2 between Kirby and Anderson. It was just beyond Kirby. And it goes from Kerr. Walsh parries it and no Chelsea player in the vicinity. Ingle delivers. Kerr the target.
Less than 10.
Well, Marla Tissia back up on her feet. Here's Rihanna Jarrett for Brighton. On to Brazil, snatched off her by Leupolz. Nice turn from Ji So Young. Excellent vision too to find Kirby. Back from her to Kerr, under pressure from Kirkdyke. Kirby, great feet, unable to keep the ball away from Jarrett. Chelsea throw. Is that a foul throw? Apparently not, as G goes into Leupolz. Back to Anderson. Trying to skip away from Ellie Brazil, who stuck to the Swedish fullback like glue. Kerr makes the overlapping run. Into Leupolz it goes from Anderson. Now G thought about a shot, tried to dink it into Harder instead. Headed away by Williams. Cuthbert alert to win it back for Chelsea. G, smart turn. Slips it through for Anderson. Kirby, G again. Blocked by Williams. And Brighton slide it clear through Whelan. This is resilient stuff from the Seagulls in the final stages here at Kings Meadow. Chelsea need to try and get G on the ball as much as possible. She's the architect. Ericsson over to Ingle. Switched over to Mjelde. Cuthbert now. Away from Cagman. The ball in, cleared away. Just under 5 minutes of normal time. There's cries of 9 minutes left from the near side. Guess that might signal that there's 4 minutes of additional time. Another loose giveaway in possession for Chelsea, and Brighton will take their time over the throw, no doubt. Anderson wins the header. Helped out of play and over the stand by Whelan. Anywhere will do. That might have been a foul throw as well from Anderson. There's certainly some cries from the Brighton officials behind her on the far side, sat in the stand. G into Kirby. Wide to Anderson. First time ball in. Bats there to clear. Kirby alert, wins it back for Chelsea. Forced wide though, and has to go all the way back to Ericsson. Lifted in by the Swede. Helped on towards Harder. Opportunity for Chelsea. Pernilla Harder blocked by Williams. Well, that was the chance for the Danish international. They've got a corner though, Chelsea. It's a low ball in and easy enough for Brighton to clear. They needed to make that one count, Chelsea. G back to Ingle. Brighton staying very well organised. Ericsson. Deflected cross, nearly broke for Harder. Picked up by Mara Mjelde. This is G. Through the legs of Cagman, back out to Mara Mjelde. Closed down by Jarrett. Her ball inside, intercepted as Cagman clears off of G.
That's over 30 seconds on the throw.
Leopold's lost it forward. Kerr trying to hold it up for Chelsea. Brighton clear against G. Anderson will try and keep it in play on the far side. Good burst of pace. Brazil has to knock it out of play. Whelan knocks it over the top for the run of Cagman. Telford off her line. Fought against trying to keep it alive for Chelsea. It's a throw instead. Really smart turn from Leopold, who sends it forward for Chelsea. Kirby chasing. Walsh clears for Brighton. Cuthbert with a strong header. Well, how hard have they worked for this, Brighton? Under a minute plus stoppage time to hang on. And they thoroughly deserve it. Talk about a reaction. Here's Frank Kirby. Kirkdyke turns it behind. And indeed, it's 4 minutes of additional time for Chelsea to try and find themselves a goal and preserve their unbeaten record in the league. And goes the corner. Eriksson was lurking. This is Pernilla Harder. Lifts it deep towards the back post. Mjelde onto G. No one really wants to shoot. Cuthbert eventually does, and it's blocked. G onto Kirby. Kirby chips it in. Walsh gathers and then spills it. Leupolz goes down. And it's offside. Against one of the Chelsea players on the right side of the area. Cagman down for Brighton. Former Everton player, Cagman, another one who's dug really deep this afternoon for Brighton.
Good, John. One more attack. 3 minutes.
Williams trying to lead her side over the line on the pitch, the Brighton skipper. Caught late there, Eriksson.
Hand on the ball! Go, Chelsea! Higher! Max! Max! Get up!
Well, looks like a yellow card this will be for Libby Bance. A substitute, not necessarily a malicious tackle, I don't think, on Eriksson, but caught her late with a bit of force. Forward from Telford, helped on by Eriksson to Kerr. Who digs out a cross, it's headed away. Whelan is the player to get there first for Brighton. Kirby for Chelsea. Into Cuthbert, now G. Left for Kerr. Kirby onto Ingle. Now G. Harder. Lifts it across the face and, well, it hits Brazil in the face, and it's Jarrett who eventually can clear for Brighton. Chelsea running out of time. Cuthbert told to send it in. As Brazil nods away, Kerr will try and keep it in play. Easy enough for Walsh, but almost collided with Kirkdyke. Heart in mouth moment for the Brighton goalkeeper, who may have just about done enough to see the visitors over the line. We played the 4 minutes, but then there have been some stoppages inside these 4 minutes. The cry is 1 minute left from the near side. Forward from Telford, flicked on by Kerr. It's Kirkdyke who clears. G into Kirby. Back to the South Korean again. Headed away by Williams. Helped on by Brazil, and Anderson leaves it for G. Bit of space for Sophie Ingle. Last chance for Saloon for Chelsea. Kerr collides with Walsh, and in the end, played out by Brighton in really composed fashion, it has to be said. in the end.
Seconds.
Was that the last chance for Chelsea? Up the line it goes, header won by Mielda, hooked across by Leupolz. Do they have time to send it forward again? No, they don't. It's a scalp at Kingsmeadow. Brighton win the 3 points. And it's a defeat for Chelsea, which ends their 33 unbeaten record in the Women's Super League. Over 2 years since they lost a game in the Women's Super League. And for Brighton, who have been through such a tough couple of weeks following defeats against Manchester City and Bristol City, well, they've come out today, they've worked so hard, stayed so organised, and even having conceded early on to Sam Kerr, equalised instantly through Eileen Whelan, and Megan Connolly, with 12 minutes to go, at the bottom of your picture, the number 8, with the winning goal, direct from a corner, to ensure Brighton pick up a huge 3 points at Kingsmeadow this afternoon. She can't contain her smile, neither can Hope Powell. What a win for the Albion at Kingsmeadow this afternoon. It's finished Chelsea 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.